Yes, indeed. This is Professor David Steinberg, and I'm here to talk to you today about new taxes that you will be paying beginning January 2013, courtesy of President Obama and Obamacare. You can find the links to this on the SteinbergFiles.com with news you can use. So let's start talking about some of these taxes. You know, earlier today I heard Mitt Romney speaking, and I'm a big supporter of Romney. I think he'd be a great president, but I'm not sure that he always communicates his message as clearly as he could. So, and the way to communicate this message is simple. A vote for Obama is a vote for higher taxes. Let's all say that together, okay? A vote for Obama is a vote for higher taxes. Or if you like, vote Romney, cut taxes. That is a pretty clear way to communicate what's going to happen in January 2013. I can't cover in one video all of the new taxes that are imposed by Obamacare, and in fact there's a separate video you can find about how the new Obamacare taxes on capital gains and dividends are going to kill the stock market and crush 401k accounts. Let's talk about some of the other taxes, just some of them now. There will be a new 2.3% tax on medical device makers, which will, of course, be passed on to patients. So, for example, somebody who needs a prosthetic limb is going to have to pay 2.3% more. Someone who needs a pacemaker is going to have to pay 2.3% more. Who is this going to hit? Well, this is going to be a tax increase on people who come back from the service, come back from Afghanistan, disabled. Don't you want to tax those people more? Apparently Obama and the Democrats do. It will be, of course, yet who else, by the way, needs medical devices, needs, say, pacemakers, artificial hip replacement, knee replacement? And of course, the elderly. This is just another example of the Democratic Party's extreme, seething hostility toward elderly people. The compassionate Democrats, those compassionate liberals, you're going to hear more about them now. Speaking of which, the next tax increase will be paid by people with chronic medical conditions. Don't you want them to pay more taxes? Somebody who is seriously ill? Obama does. Previously, these people could deduct medical expenses when the medical expenses were in excess of 7.5% of their income. The new tax in January 2013 raises that threshold to 10%. So the first 10% of medical expenses cannot be deducted. Is that going to affect healthy people? No. It's a tax on sick people. Doesn't that make you feel good? Then we have yet another tax. See, there's a lot of them. The Medicare payroll tax for individuals earning over $200,000, couples earning over $250,000. Today, employers withhold 1.45% of their income as a tax. That will go up beginning in January to 2.35% of the tax. Now, let's say you employ a husband or a wife. How do you know they're part of a couple that makes over $250,000? In other words, how does an employer know what his employee's husband or wife makes? I don't have a clue. No idea. And then maybe the most toxic of all, the limit on flexible spending accounts. Today, if you're somebody who has a lot of medical expenses, or you have children who have a lot of medical expenses, you can shelter money in a flexible spending account, and you don't pay taxes on that money, provided that you use it before the end of the year. Currently, there's no limit. But beginning in January 2013, you will only be able to shelter $2,500. So let's say you're a parent and you have a kid needs braces, and the entire package is going to come to, let's say, $7,000. Today, you can still shelter that $7,000 from federal taxes. Beginning in January 2013, you can't. Who is this really going to hit? This is going to really hit parents of special needs children. This is the special needs children tax. Because today, you can shelter tuition for children attending special needs schools, which can cost $14,000 or more. Today, you have to, if you're a parent of a special needs child, that's what you have to pay for them to get the attention they need. But at least it's not taxed. Oh, but beginning in January 2013, it will be. You'll only be able to shelter $2,500. This is a special tax on people with chronic medical conditions and, of course, many of them the elderly and parents of special needs children. Isn't that compassionate, Democrats? Aren't you proud of yourselves? By the way, don't I recall President Obama pledging something about not increasing taxes on the middle class? These are middle class tax increases, Mr. President. So what was that all about? I have to conclude you just weren't telling the truth. Visit SteinbergFiles.com for a link to Fox News and more news you can use, and a link to the sources for this story. This is Professor David Steinberg.